How's it going, everyone? It is Monday, July 29th, 2024. Let's get into the video for today. Last video, I gave two picks, ASTS long and JPM long. I only ended up taking ASTS, and there was a couple of reasons for that. So first, yesterday, I wanted to see the market kind of close above the high of the day when the video came out earlier in the first half of the day, and we kind of got that. We got a little bit of a little bearish reversal at the end of the day, kind of died out. So I still liked the market. It was mildly bullish. We closed above that 8 EMA, so it had what I like to see. ASTS was very, very nice. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit, maybe to an M30 chart. You see the stock has made really big run up on the down day of the 25th, compressed, made another run up. Now the trend is a little bit weaker, pulling back a little bit, but still holding some of the gains. I like what I see in the stock. I'm going to give it some time to just sort of play out, see if we can advance past this level, get somewhere closer to, I don't know, 22, 23 bucks. I'm willing to hold this through earnings as well. This is a a pre-earnings bull, so it tends to rally 75% of the time into the number. I like that powerful force on my favor. So this is a very strong stock. It's been kind of doing its own thing relative to the market, and I really like everything about it. Very confident in this pick. The other pick I had, JPM. JPM was really good, but it could not really get a meaningful close past this level here at 212. So here was the high at that level. We broke above through it, so I really liked that early in the day. We kind of waffled around, couldn't do much, and then when we opened, we actually couldn't advance past this level, and then we came back down. So I wanted to see some sort of meaningful close where we would actually break above the high of the day, would show some relative strength intraday, but we didn't quite get that. So it doesn't mean that JPM is gone forever. I'm just going to set an alert right here. And if that triggers, we know that JPM could be pretty nice on the upside. So we have ASTS, which I just talked about, and we have JMIA. It's still absorbing some of this selling pressure here. We know that we're holding a lot of the gains, which is good, but the stock hasn't really been trending for the past couple of days. Now, the market has been pretty down, so that has been a bit of a tailwind. The stock has also hit a little bit of resistance right here, close to the $14 level, around $14.50, $14.60 level. We added a little bit to that position on the 26th. I just added about 25%. I liked the strength that I saw earlier in the day. Stock is now doing a bit of a sell-off today. Just testing the bid again. You can see that we have a pretty established bid right here around 12 bucks. There's a lot of support at this level, and every time we've poked below it, we've managed to have a pretty nice skyrocket back. But there's a lot of sellers here. So right now, buyers and sellers are fighting, and we're a bit in the middle of this range. So if I think we have a market tailwind, I'd like to see this stock start to rally up and break through this prior high of 15 bucks. If we really can't get through that level, then I'm going to take gains on the stock. But I'm going to lean on the D1 chart here. D1 is still intact unless this actually starts to crack down. If it cracks down, then I'm out of the trade. But until it cracks down, I'm going to stay in on this trade. All right. So those are the only two stocks that we're in. If you look at the market longer term here, we have a pretty big week coming up. Our longer term time frame, we know the market has been pulling back a little bit. We've got the pullback that we kind of wanted. Still mildly bullish, but this pullback has happened on some pretty good volume, some rotation out of the tech stocks, some also rotation into IWM and other sectors. RSP has going up as well. First trying to make a cap tech earnings sparked some selling. We had a little poke below the 50-day SMA, and now we're kind of between that and the 8 EMA, just kind of wedged in between these two levels. I think tomorrow will also be a fairly dead day as we're going to wait for the mega cap tech earnings to come out on Tuesday. We have Meta and we have Microsoft. So I don't think we're going to see a lot of meaningful movement between that. We could see some volume as maybe institutions have some position squaring ahead of the number, but I don't think we're going to get anything too meaningful. So I think the market is in a bit of a waiting position here. Lots of news coming out this week. Let's talk about that right now. I already mentioned Meta and Microsoft coming out on Tuesday. We also have unemployment numbers coming out this week. JOLTS is going to come out Tuesday morning. Wednesday, we have the FOMC. We have some end of month rebalancing. We also have ADP. On Thursday, we have Amazon earnings and Apple earnings. And on Friday, we have unemployment and ISM manufacturing. Let me double check that ISM manufacturing. Oh, sorry, that's Thursday. My bad, not Friday. It's Thursday. We have the ISM manufacturing. So quite a bit of news this week. We have our usual release of economic news in the beginning of the month. And we also have mega cap tech earnings, and we have FOMC. So this is a pretty packed week. We may not see what really happens until the beginning of next week. Excuse me. While the market digests all of that news. And a very similar situation was actually in April here, where we had mega cap tech. We had FOMC, we had economic releases coming up. So here is all of that news being digested, and then we started to get the output of that. So, and that didn't really happen until next week. You can see May 1st, May 2nd. That's when we started to get some of that lift off here. So I think we could see a similar situation, and I think, a little bit mildly bullish. I think there'll at least be some sort of bid into mega cap tech earnings, and then once we digest that information, we can see if the market kind of ends up moving up or down. On the bullish case, I'd want to see the market hold the 50-day SMA, or at the very least hold the low from July 5th. So both of those need to hold. On the bearish case, I want to see, and I want to hold both these levels and ideally get back above our AVWAP Q and probably fill in this gap from the 23rd. If we can do all of that, I'll feel much more confident about the bullish side. On the bearish side here, I'd like to see AVWAP Q or maybe even this gap kind of be preserved for the most part, and then have us get through the 50-day SMA and the low of July 25th. If we get through those levels, I will feel much more confident about getting short. Also, if the bounce over here is pretty weak, mixed candles here, not a lot of volume, not a lot of ground covered, that tells us that sellers are in that bounce. We're more likely to have some sort of double top, and then we can short that market. So that's what I'm looking for kind of in the next 2 weeks on a shorter term time frame. If we zoom in a little bit here to the M30 chart, you can see that the market, after this big move here, has been kind of compressing in a range. There has been higher lows and also the same amount of highs, so there is a bit of an ascending triangle here. That means there's a little bit of buying pressure coming in here as we're holding that 50-day SMA. So nothing overly bullish or bearish. I think this is mildly bullish, has a little bit of bias to the breakup to the upside, but I wouldn't play anything very strongly over here. All right, so intraday, what is going on in SPY? Well, we had a gap up from yesterday, which was a pretty LPT day. We got a little bit of a move early in the day. We got a pretty big move, gap up. We held the gains, and then we moved up higher. So that was bullish, and I like to think of this is the up cycle. This compression is the contra cycle, where this should have been a pullback, but then buyers kept on nibbling at this bid, protecting that 50-day SMA, and then we started to eventually get the release and grind up higher until we hit the top of the range here. Sellers defending this 547 level. We got a pretty big smackdown and then some garbage meat grinding action for the rest of the day. Today, we kind of similar theme here where we're seeing two-sided price action, just in a smaller range. Test the upside, can't get anything going. Sellers test the downside. We have this big long red candle here. Tries to poke below the low of the day, and this gets erased very, very, very quickly. Long green candle here, not a lot of volume. So we know that as soon as this bounce begins to stall, we know that we're probably going to get the next leg higher, and we're going to have this sort of wedge pattern. I believe that we're going to bounce, and then we're going to drop over here. It's going to be a little bit lower. Going to come up over here. It's going to be a little bit lower. So yeah, market is just doing a whole lot of nothing. A good day to take not a ton of trades. I'd look for something that maybe even has earnings, has a ton of volume, has some relative strength right now, and play into the bounce. So we got this bounce up. You can see that we stalled. We got a bit of a double top here. The volume has been pretty low. 1OP was pretty spot on. Honestly, really called this bounce pretty well. But when the volume is very low on a day like this, I think 1OP becomes less helpful because there's just too much noise. There's not anything to really predict. It's just kind of all garbage. So market is pulling back over here. I think we know that the theme has been two-sided price action, so I think we may see a little bit of a bounce, potentially in the last 90 minutes of the day. I keep something small. You're seeing a lot of tails over here below body. Market is leaking lower, but this has pretty low volume price action. All the volume is coming into these tails. So we know that buyers are going to be in here. We know that they've been defending this level pretty well. So it's pretty likely that we might get some sort of bounce. That's what I'm thinking over here. So looking at just some stocks over here, I liked on. I'm in a small position on right now. This is a pretty strong stock. It has support at VWAP over here. Has been very relatively strong to the market. There are buyers coming into play. So on I like quite a bit. Let's look at some other stocks that we can see. By the way, on the short side, I do like Costco. I'm waiting to see what the market does over here. I want to see a little bit of a pullback to the 8 EMA. Maybe see the stock compress for a little bit over here. When I see that, if I see that sort of weak pullback, weak price action, I know that cost has plenty of room to the downside over here. But I know I can get in on a pullback. I don't have to chase at the low of the day. I can probably get in here, maybe somewhere around 825, 826, 821, somewhere over here. I can get in, and that could be a favorable trade. I know Pete called that out in the video. I really like Costco. I think it could be a decent overnight swing. So we broke through this level. I'm actually going to zoom out and see where the heck that this level comes into play. Okay, so this is where it comes into play. All the way from, if we look at over here, coming into play from August 2022. So that is quite a bit of a level here. It's not a blue level, which indicates something very, very strong longer term. So MMM made a huge move post earnings. Looks like it may be digesting some of those gains today. If we zoom in a little bit to that M30 chart, yeah, you can see that it's been holding the gains. Got a little bit of a bearish engulfing candle here. Not a ton of volume, so might need some time to digest those gains. If it can hold most of this level here, there's a chance that this stock is going to go higher. I'm going to set an alert. And maybe I'm going to set a relative strength. I think I'm going to set an LSI alert on the M30. And I'm going to call this D1 pullback. So let's set this guy here. If I can get over there, then I'm interested in getting in on MMM. So let's just see if there's any stocks that have some relative strength right now. We want some stocks with some good volume, maybe perhaps at the top of their range. Okay, here's fiber. It's been kind of grinding up higher all day. This is a nice grinder. Yeah, breaking through this level. Fiber is a pretty good pick. I like fiber. This one you got to be patient on. Not the most liquid stock, BKER. This is decent. I would have liked to get it in somewhere over here when it holds this level. From the initial high of the day on the opening candle. Not crazy about that. Let's look at JBI. So we're just looking for something that has some nice strong price action, has some volume. We're just going to flip through a couple of charts, see if we can find anything pretty interesting here. This is not a bad chart. It looks like it may be dead for the day. So ideally, I want a stock that is kind of compressing. So maybe I'm going to make my own search here. Foot Locker, this is a nice stock. I think I missed a little bit of my move here. But this is a nice pullback over here. Rises up, pullbacks over here, starting to rise up. So Foot Locker, nice breakout too on the D1. Plenty of space on that guy. May not be a bad overnight swing getting through this compression over here as well. I'm going to go to another search. This is called Bull Volume. These are stocks that have volume above 1.5. Looks like there's not a ton today. Bull Grinder. Let's look at PayPal maybe. That's a nice. Actually, there's a nice grinding action from PayPal. I really like this. Has some room until this high. Also, only 10 cents of room. This is not a huge ATR mover. Or people. Sorry, not PayPal. People. Yeah, not crazy about utilities. Utilities are strong today. I'm going to take a look at these sectors here. So it looks like consumer defensive is very much up. Energy is down today. Tech is doing okay. I also like to look at the mega cap techs. So if we look at some of these stocks here, we know that Tesla's had a lot of volume. I know the T1 chart is going through the gap, but it's stuck between the gap and the 8 EMA, seeing quite a little bit of selling pressure here at that 8 EMA. So not crazy about that stock right now. Other mega cap tech, not super weak. On the market strength, you can see here actually tech stocks are doing decently well. QQQ is up, MAGS is up, XLC is up. XLK is actually down, which is interesting. So it looks like in terms of QQQ, the comm sector is maybe leading the charge up here. Crypto is pretty weak. Small cap is pretty weak. Oil is pretty weak. So it looks like there's kind of a mixed of market breadth over here. Tech isn't overly strong, so the market components aren't really favoring us in one direction or the other. If I look at the sector analysis again, there seems to be a couple more stocks that are green, so I'm pretty neutral overall, looks like. Tech isn't doing anything. Consumer defensive is up, which is not the most bearish, so maybe a little mildly bullish at the most, but that's sort of it. This could be the first leg of this rally here. If we get this bullish engulfing candle, 11:45. So right now I have on. On is doing okay. Pulling back a little bit here. I'd like to see it hold this level. Let's see what else can be good. Not a lot of stuff on the bullish side here. CL, let's look at CL. Maybe this is looking good. Okay. So I had some earnings before here. Oh, this is a nice move on CL. Oh yeah, broke through this high. Really, really nice breakout over here. See, once it kind of got through this level, right, we started to accelerate. Now the move has gone parabolic, so I'd want to wait for maybe a bit of a pullback. I'm going to put up an HA reversal. Whoops. Put up an HA reversal on this. Could be good, but yeah, you can see some high volume here. I'd watch this candle here. If this is a really high volume candle, or this is like a very high volume hammer, right, that's even higher volume than this prior candle, that tells us that we got to be careful. Right now, though, the stock is looking pretty good. So not a bad pick. Let's look at APD. On a sell signal, though. Grinding up higher. It's breaking out. It's holding the breakout. Not crazy about this stock. Yeah, the 50 SMA is right there. Yeah, nothing really that great on the long side. Let's look at Lulu. This is a really weak D1 chart, so I don't think I'd want to get in on that. Not a fan of that at all. Okay, let's look at the bearish side. Let's see if there's anything else on the bearish side that we can get. Just going to run through some searches here. Pins. Let's first see if there's anything that's post earn that's bear. Okay, how about pop bear? Okay, let's get CRGY. I think is a very liquid stock. That's a beautiful breakdown in that stock. Wow, look at that. Beautiful breakdown, getting out of compression. Room to some resistance / support right here around 11 bucks. Certainly a 1 ATR move in there. Testing this level a couple of times. Oh yeah, I like what I see in this stock. We'll see if we can get through that level. It's a pretty decent breakdown. It's a pretty decent breakdown. Look at Red Royal Flush. Okay, lift, pretty weak, not a lot of volume. SMCI, pretty weak, not a lot of volume today. CCJ, Uber, these are just going to be day trades right now, even though I'm not crazy about day trading at the very end here. I mean, Uber, I would like it to get through this low of the day, or you'd have to short somewhere up here. Not crazy about this setup. I think there are better setups, although it could work as a swing, a short-term swing. Pins. Pins has made a pretty big move. There's good volume in here. Breaking down. Ooh, hey, there's a nice breakdown. There's good volume here. We get a little bit of a snapback. This might be a pretty nice time to short pins. Might be a pretty nice time to short pins. Getting through this level, we have some room to the 200 SMA. Yeah, I think this could be the short of the day. Yeah, I'm gonna give this candle closes. WDC, confluent, really choppy. Energy is pretty weak. We saw that today in the sectors. Let's go to heavy sell. Anything on heavy sell here? Loves pins. Looks like it's SoFi. I just don't like SoFi. I'm not going to trade that. We'll look at WDC. Let's look at love. Nothing crazy here. Not really a thing really good on the D1 chart. Not anything really great. Big D1s. AMD Wolf. Let's look at Wolf. Wolf has been a pretty bearish chart. Nice rejection here from the 8 EMA. Finding some resistance. Like what I see in this chart. This could be a nice little pullback entry on this stock. Lots of tails above bodies. Market's still trickling down here. This is a very weak move. How's On doing? On's holding up. Right around his VWAP over here. Just to get through some of these technical levels. Testing the top of this trend line right here. And also trying to, looks like it's trying to get through some of these highs, these relative highs right here. Lots of volume though, so I know that buyers are going to be engaged in this stock. All right, we got Wolf. Yeah, I mean, I think, oops. I think pins is going to be my pick of the day here. We have actually, well, we have earnings tomorrow, huh? Yeah. Not a lot of. Yeah. Not crazy about that then. Not crazy about that. Looks like it's selling off in earnings. The thing is, because it's earnings coming up, there's a little bit more volatility going to be in that stock. Look at D-Dog here. Yeah, I mean, there's just not a lot of opportunity today. Not a lot of opportunity, so I think I'm gonna go with maybe pins as a day trade short. Anything like that. I like to see some immediate continuation here. So that's probably gonna be my pick of the day. Let's go with pins. Small size. We 1-up bearish cycle has kind of been producing a little bit. We know this move is really weak. So I don't have a ton of confidence in this pick. I'm debating if I want to give it as my pick of the day. But to me, there's just not a lot of opportunity. One, on the day trading side because it's late in the day. And then two, because you make a tech earnings, I don't want to overload on any swings. So I think I'm gonna have no pick today. I think that's gonna be my pick. My pick is no pick. I just don't have the confidence to recommend pins given the situation setting up right now. So no pick. It's a lot of scanning for nothing, but that's what you got to do. Sometimes you do a lot of scanning, and then once you have chosen all your options, gone through all your main searches, and you're like, look, there's actually not a lot of opportunity today, just stay on the sidelines. Don't really force anything that you don't need to trade. So that is it for today's video. We're just going to have ASTS, and we are going to have JMIA on the long side. And we're going to wait to see if there's any nice opportunities tomorrow for day trading, and how our swings do after the news from this week. Thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll take a look at our current positions in tomorrow's video.